welcome to episode 47 of Arcadiology, where we dig up your favorite arcade relics. My name is Jordan Carruthers. I'm joined as always by my three bestest boys in the whole world, the Wiggin brothers. Mr. Brad Wiggin.
What up?
Mr. Sky Wiggin.
Yo.
And Mr. Kyle Wiggin.
Saw, dudes.
So, dudes, how we feeling, boys? You ready to talk about yet another one for the 47th time?
Absolutely, man.
I'm ready.
We're in a good streak here, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm hyped tonight.
All right, I feel like we've had a good streak of some bad games lately. Some good ones thrown in here and there, so we'll see where this one stacks up with all of them. But besides for that, tell me, boys, what you been playing?
I've been wanting to play it for a long time. I finally got around to, I didn't get too far in it, but I started playing Luigi's Mansion 3. Because, I played the original one on the GameCube. That was like one of the, I don't know, maybe like handful, maybe 10 games total I had on the GameCube back in the day, and I played the shit out of that game. I remember like 100%ing it, doing like, I think you have to like start over. There's like, I don't know if there's a plus mode or something happens, but I'd like maxed that game out. I did like everything you could. That was one of my favorite games as a kid, so I never got around to playing the second one because I think it was locked to the DS for a long time. I heard it was a little different, so I never played that, but then started playing Luigi's Mansion 3, and it's pretty fun. Like, they got a lot of mechanics going on for it compared to the first one. There's like so many different, I don't even want to call them abilities. Like, he has the vacuum, how you can pull stuff in, you can push it away. Like, if you hit both the triggers, he almost does like this jump, which can, I was pretty surprised to find out there's actually a moment where you have to use it to like jump over stuff, because normally it just kind of like blasts everything around you. But you have the Goo Luigi, you can like sneak through cracks. You have a plunger you can shoot to like attach to things and pull it away. You have like this ghost vision that reveals like hidden objects and stuff, but there's kind of a lot going on. They do a good job like trickling it out there so you kind of aren't overwhelmed by the time you learn all that stuff. But I'm probably like 2 or 3 hours into it, and I'm really having fun with it.
I definitely remember you playing Luigi's Mansion growing up. That was one of those games where like I tried to play it like during when you were playing it, and I was like, I don't think this is for me. But then I could sit there and watch you play it.
Yeah. It's one of those things also, whenever you see someone else play it for a while, it's like, well, I'm already invested in watching them. There's no reason for me to play it.
I think that's the same with me.
Yeah, there was something about it where I was like, this doesn't feel fun for me to play. Like, I don't know, like I think the games that I liked at the time, I was like, this game's I'm just going to fall asleep playing this. But then Brad would play it, and it'd be like 3 hours in. I'm just like, what if you try this?
Like, get him, B, you almost got it. Yeah, just going crazy about it. More of a spectator game for me.
Yeah.
I remember watching you play that back in the day. That's the only memories I have of that game.
Yeah, I've always loved that one. I think it was a launch GameCube game, maybe. And I don't know, I feel like back at the time, people were like, oh, this is a bad launch lineup. There's no Mario game. But dude, I love Luigi's Mansion. I think I like it better than most Mario games. So I was happy when I was playing that one.
When Luigi started getting some spotlight, man.
Yeah, he was always my guy. My favorite color was green growing up, so Luigi just fit right in.
I played the first one maybe like halfway through. That's really my only experience with the series.
Like recently or back when it was newish?
Like in between. Maybe like
okay.
Not even like a decade ago or so.
It might be some nostalgia, but still, I love that game. I started it back up a little while ago. The first one, I was playing it with Ezra. She was into it a little bit, but it's kind of going back and forth playing with her. I didn't finish it up this time, but it's still a great game. That's mostly it, though. Bounced off a couple other games. There's always a ton of games I've loaded up I'm ready to try. There's like 3 other ones I hopped in for like less than 15 minutes and got out, so nothing to report on those ones.
Yeah, I haven't really done much gaming lately, besides like our games we play for this. I think I'm hitting one of those ruts where I don't really feel like playing any games. Nothing's really like interesting to me now. So I just played our game pretty much, and that's about it. Kyle was talking about some Diablo style roguelike game, so maybe I'll check that out. Start playing that a little bit.
What's that, Hades?
No, he just texted it to me earlier. What was that called?
This one is called Hell Clock.
That's what it was, yeah. Maybe I'll scope that out.
Just before recording this, I was doing a couple runs. But yeah, the game is called Hell Clock. Currently it's a demo on Steam, but it's like I said, it's like a Diablo style roguelite. Any of you guys that have played roguelites, you gotta know what those entail. But this one is sort of Diablo in like where it has like gear and stuff that you can pick up during your runs. There's different skills you can use and put them in different combinations or whatever. But the whole point is like you you're going into like these dungeons, like doing these different floors, and you're progressing through the floors to try to get through as many floors as you can. But you're racing against the clock the whole time. And when you're fighting like the bosses, the clock is stopped, so it doesn't count your time down. And I believe if you kill like an elite, like a yellow guy, which there's not many of them, but I think if you kill one of those, you might actually get a little bit more time added to your clock. And then there's like a whole like, passive skill tree that you can go into and spend all your like overworld points and whatever. But I don't know. I've been playing it for, I got like 16 hours in it already. I don't think all that's playtime. I think I might have left it on for a little bit the other day. But yeah, I mean, you guys know that my shoulder has been killing me lately. So I guess fortunately and unfortunately, the only thing I could do is game. And even then, like I can only do it for a little bit until, I got to go relax my arm. But I've been playing a lot of Hellclock recently, which is really good. I think, Skylar, I think for sure you'll like that one if you check it out. And then, as you guys know, I'm still playing Splitgate 2. There is, I think, Ranked, actually. They're doing an update, and they're adding Ranked mode and stuff, which comes out tomorrow, along with a couple other things. So, any of you guys that like those FPSs, I would say stop back into Splitgate 2 if you've checked it out previously. There's actually going to be new things to grind for. And I'm just going to say it now, like, Ranked is coming out tomorrow. And I think I've got to be like top 100 as far as like,
what a show.
Yeah,
off.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm playing, like, I play it so much, and like I play with a lot of what I can tell are like the best players, and there's not a single match where I'm like if I'm not like the top guy, I'm like the second. It's just consistently every single game I play. So I don't know. We'll see when rank comes out, but I think I'm gonna make it pretty far.
Nice. Well, what's the ranked game types like? Do you know? Did they reveal any of that yet?
So they just released it. Currently, there's like a few different, like they have the Battle Royale version. That's not going to be ranked yet. They have the Takedown mode, which will not be ranked yet. These are all things they plan on doing, but as of now, the only ranked is going to be sort of like their arena playlist, which it cycles between 3 different game modes at random. So you can either do, I think it's Firecracker, which is basically like their search and destroy. Split ball, which is like it's kind of it's like multi-flag, I guess is probably the best comparison. It's like capture the flag, but it's a ball instead of a flag, and like the balls spawn at intervals. So like there's gonna be, I mean, you played it, Brad, so there's like multiple balls out at one time where you're like constantly trying to like take them back and whatever. So that's one of them. And I think the last one is domination. So those are like the 3 playlists that will cycle in that mode. And that's gonna be like their release of ranked, and then once they get everything kind of narrowed down, then they'll add ranked to the other playlists.
So it's not going to be initially like that hardcore mode where the maps are like very competitive looking and, you know what I mean, like arena based.
Yeah, like that takedown mode where you're waiting for the respawns.
Okay, yeah, takedown.
That's what takedown is. Yeah, that one will not be ranked yet.
Okay.
But I think they do plan on having ranked for all of it. They're just starting with the initial arena play mode first, and they want to try to get everything like dialed in, and then they'll expand it to the other things.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, that's about all I've been playing is those 2 so far.
Jordan, update us on your expedition here.
Oh man, dude, it got wild. So, I recently finished the end of Act 2, which I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's maybe 3 acts in the game. So, I want to say I'm about roughly 50 hours in, kind of closing in on the end here. But finished up Act 2. At the end of every act, you get like a massive plot dump. And this one just totally changed everything about the game. I'm not going to really talk about it because I'm not trying to spoil anything about the game. But I was definitely just kind of sitting there watching all the plot go through, like with my jaw just on the floor. Like, this is absolutely wild, the direction this is going. It's still such a damn good game, man. But not much more I can really say about it right now, because again, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone out there who may play it, including if any of you guys ever play it. I've been trying to get Kyle to for weeks. I don't know, maybe he will since he's injured, but we'll see.
Yeah,
you gotta catch him. You gotta catch him when he's wounded.
Yeah.
You ain't catching him when he's healthy.
I know, man. It's the perfect time. The only other 2 games I've been kind of doing a little bit of, way more minor. This one's it's pretty dumb, but I've been playing a good bit of all things Madden 2006, For two reasons. One, I still really love the old PS2 era Maddens. I still think they were probably the peak of the franchise. And two, because it's the only Madden with Brock Lesnar in it, and it's just kind of fun to play as Brock Lesnar in a football game.
That's weird.
There's that. Yeah, I mean, he was technically like in the NFL for like 5 minutes at that point in time, so it kind of worked out.
5 minutes.
Oh no, like he played like one preseason game with the Vikings, and like that was it. But it was just enough to get him in the game. I think I think I saw it before. He's the only guy to be in a Madden, a UFC, and a WWE video game. So this dude's just out here doing side quests at this point. But
Dang, you hit the trifecta.
he did hit the trifecta, dude. But besides for that, I also started a playthrough of a randomized Nuzlocke of Pokemon Fire Red. I feel like I might have mentioned, I don't know if you guys are super familiar with what a Nuzlocke is. I think I may have talked about it before. But for anyone who doesn't really know what that is, it's kind of just like a challenge run of Pokemon where basically if your Pokemon faints, they're dead and you can never use them again. And you can also only catch the very first Pokemon you run into in every area. So you can't just kind of walk around trying to find the ones you specifically want. And then I typically do with these Nuzlocks, I randomized it. So everything is completely different. You're going to find Pokemon you wouldn't normally see, items you wouldn't normally see. So I kind of realized not long ago that I don't think I ever played the whole way through the Kanto remakes, the Fire Red and Leaf Green. So I was like, you know what? Let's just slap a Nuzlocke on the sucker and finally get through one of those games. So that's really about all I've been spending my time with is those three games.
Is that like how people make like randomized ROM hacks of like other games and stuff? Is that pretty much what that is?
I mean,
Like there's like Super Metroid ones where they scramble all the items, or like old Legend of Zelda games. They'll scramble everything in the game.
yeah, I guess a lot of games are doing randomizers now. I've seen that a lot for Zelda, like you said, where like you'll open a chest and maybe it's supposed to be the compass, but instead it's the boomerang or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's just something totally different. Yeah, I've done a lot of randomizers with Pokemon. For example, you know, typically in Fire Red, your starters are Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur. I think mine for this playthrough were like Blastoise, like already fully evolved Blastoise, a Weeping Bell, and a Seedot. So I was like, let's just go with the Blastoise here. I know it's I'm picking a normal starter anyway, but it's cooler than a Weeping Bell and a Seedot, so we'll go with that. But yeah, I mean, you step into the first route, instead of finding a Pidgey, you might find a Zapdos. You don't know. You have no idea. It's just kind of all over the place. I think I actually ran into a Kyogre, which is one of the Gen 3 legendaries, on like the second route of the game. And it was like level 3 or 4, when normally it'd be like 40 or 50. So
He's just chilling in the grass.
he's just a whale, just chilling in the grass right before Pewter City, you know, no big deal. Yeah, that's about it for me. Anybody have anything they want to add?
Now that you mentioned the PS2, Emily she got her a PlayStation 2 to play a couple games on. She's been
Nice.
playing that Disney skate game. It's kind of like Tony Hawk, but it's like Disney stuff.
Is it what? That's a thing?
Yeah, it's called Disney, I think Extreme Skate or Disney Skate Extreme, something like that.
Is it terrible?
It's not as good as like the other games. Like, I don't really like the controls that well, but like it's a skating game. It's all right. It's decent. But you just go through like different Disney worlds. Like there's like Toy Story World, like a Tarzan world, and you skate through and do challenges and all that stuff.
So it's Tony Hawk meets Kingdom Hearts.
Pretty much, yeah.
Give Sora a skateboard.
Yeah,
Sounds pretty cool,
I
actually.
completely forgot about that.
Is it like, do they have the same kind of stuff? Like you got to find letters, you got to find like hidden object, like the secret tape type stuff. Is that like around the areas?
Yeah. You go around, you like find the word skate in every
Nice.
level, just like the old games. Then they'll have random challenges like grind these certain rails, and so you have to like find a way to get up super high in a level and grind like a rail and all that stuff.
But how's the soundtrack?
I mean, it's not my kind of soundtrack. It's it's Disney games, so
No Superman.
there's a couple decent songs in there, but I mean, it's nothing like the old Tony Hawk or like the old skate games and all that.
You got a friend in me while you're skating the half pipe.
Got a friend in me.
I think I just played a couple minutes of that. Like when she gets stuck, it's something crazy, I'll jump in and try to like hurry up and complete a challenge. I mainly just watch her play it.
Disney just wanted to capitalize on everybody falling in love with skateboarding all over again because of Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that probably wraps up this segment here, talking about our games for the last 2 weeks. So I suppose we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and instead dig up some Ganryu. Ganryu is a side-scrolling hack-and-slash platformer developed and published by Visco Corporation in 1999. Taking control of either Musashi or Suzume, you're on a journey to defeat the evil ninjas and monsters terrorizing Kyoto and kidnapping many of its citizens, all under the command of Musashi's resurrected rival Kojiro. Using your sword, grappling chain, and a few bonus projectile weapons, you battle your way through waves of ninjas and boss monsters across 5 stages. So first things first, what character did you guys go with?
I went with whoever the main guy was. What's his name?
Musashi.
Mushimashu? What's it?
I hope I'm saying all these names correctly. I cannot promise it. Cannot guarantee anything, but I believe his name is Musashi.
I tested them both out because they do have different stats and stuff. So I did a playthrough with each of them just to see how it was.
Yeah, I played through with Musashi, and then I think I played halfway through with that Suzume, and I realized it was pretty much the same. It wasn't. She has a little bit of difference, but it wasn't enough for me to want to finish the game with her, so I stopped like 2 or 3 levels in.
Yeah, I only used Musashi. I played twice. I used him for both playthroughs. So for at least you two, did you really have a preferred character? I know Sky said there's not much difference, but was there one that you did prefer over the other?
Yeah, I liked the girl better actually. It seemed like she attacked faster. Like the dude, whenever he hits, it's like, I don't know, it like swings twice. To me, it seemed like it was a little bit slower. And the girl, you can really spam your attack and kind of like jump and keep moving without any delay. So overall, I thought she was a little better for me.
Yeah, I might have. If I started with her, I probably would have played like 2 levels with Musashi and been like, oh, he's the same, and not finished it.
Right, yeah.
But I like knowing beforehand that she would be faster. I probably would have picked her. I mean, other than that, it wasn't really too bad dealing with him being slightly slower.
And they do actually, I'm sure we'll get into the weapons later, but they do have different like weapon pickups depending on the character. They're like kind of tailored to that character.
Yeah, I saw something reading about this game that the dynamite worked differently. And I'll tell you one thing, man. I hated the dynamite pickup for Musashi. I thought it was awful. But is it better with Suzume?
Hers is pretty bad too. With him, it's like it kind of like lobs, right? Like in an arc.
Mm-hmm.
Hers is even worse. It's like it just drops a bomb like straight down, so you can't hit in front of you at all. Anytime you use it, even if you're jumping in the air, it'll drop straight down on your feet and travel across the floor. So it's kind of weird. Like it does travel and it'll hit anything that's on the ground. But I don't know. I thought it was a terrible weapon. You couldn't even like hit most of the bosses with it if you had it.
Does sound better than Musashi's version though by a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, they're both equally terrible. I think I did try them both. It's just you want to
That's
avoid
fair.
that at all costs. I feel like.
Seems like those kind of weapons, like the weapons that have like arcs and stuff, like bombs and grenades, seems like they just suck in almost every game. Like they should just stop making that. Just stop adding that.
It had the same arc as the can from Gangbusters, man.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. Just that never works in any game. Anything you have to lob has an arc. It's just terrible.
Also, like the daggers, like she got like daggers that'll shoot like one forward and like one at like a 45-degree angle upwards, whereas his I think was just like straight across. That
Yeah,
was the
he
other
just had the
difference.
shurikens that just went straight. I mean, did you guys really have a favorite projectile weapon in general? I mean, they start with their I assume she starts with a basic sword as well, like he does. But then
Yeah.
they have that. They have their grappling chain, and then from what I saw, at least for him, you can get the shurikens, the dynamite, or like the energy orbs that surround him. I assume hers are fairly similar. Did you guys have a preferred weapon then of those choices?
Definitely the shield, like the orb shield that goes around you.
Really?
Whenever you originally, I played through. I didn't use any of the power ups because I picked up the stupid like bombs. I got the daggers. Those all kind of seemed like they sucked. But once you get the shield, it's a little weird to use at first. But once you get used to it, that thing is busted, dude.
Yeah, I definitely picked that up anytime I saw it.
Yeah.
And you get more than enough charges. Like anytime you pick a like a power weapon up, you get a certain amount of charges and you get back to your normal sword. But even when it starts you with like I think 10 when you initially grab them,
Right.
that's still more than enough to like finish a boss off or get through like half a level.
What about you, Kyle?
I mean, I guess the shield thing is probably the best one. Like these guys said, I mean, it's you just kind of like put it on, it just orbits you and hits everything around you, and then it like slowly expands if they don't all get used up right away. So like they'll just kind of like go out on their own and like hit things that you can like on the edge of the screen that you can barely see if you let it persist long enough.
You guys have a pretty different opinion than me on that item. I was not a very big fan. It does kind of give you that idea of, the shield around you. Kind of makes you feel like you'd be invincible if you touched anything. The problem is, I don't know exactly how many there are, maybe like 5 or 6 orbs that surround you. And whenever you hit something, like an enemy or something with an orb, that orb will go away and kind of cause a gap in the shield. And every now and then I'll be feeling too confident because I have that circling around me, but then an enemy will go through that gap and hit me, and I'll take damage not expecting it. And that gets kind of frustrating. I just felt like it was a bit too inconsistent for me, especially because it's kind of on a timer as well.
Yeah, it's had a lot of versatility because you can, as soon as you pop it, it starts circling you, and as Kyle said, after a while, it'll expand and go away. Or like you said, if you're using some of them up and you're not feeling safe, like maybe 3 of the 6 are gone, if you would tap attack again, it'll launch them like straight ahead of you, and then you can like re-up and use another one. The only like actual downside I noticed is like a slight delay whenever you press it, but you can avoid it if you jump right before you do it. That way you're in the air when you activate it, you still have like some control, and then it activates before you hit the ground, so it doesn't really mess you up at all.
Yeah, I just liked how, like, as soon as you get that activated, you get a free, 6 orbs, right?
Right.
So that's a free 6 hits that you don't have to have, like, an attack animation for and be stuck, like, you know what I mean, doing a little animation. So I found that was really helpful for the bosses where, like, sometimes, like, one of the guys come from the side of the screen, and sometimes I would maybe jump a little too late, and when I hit him, he uses an attack, and I would get caught in it.
Yeah.
But if I got my orbs up, I can stand there, wait for him, just jump up and down real quick. So I'm like attacking without having to actually stop my movement.
Can you still use your slide? I think you can, right? You can still use your slide while
Yeah, for sure.
the shield is up?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I assume you guys realized it already, but the slide is just as good as an actual attack. If you slide into an enemy, it just kills them immediately. And that's like, I mean, you can beat like the entire game with just sliding.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can slide and kill everything, and like you're avoiding most things that go over your head because you're sliding, and you have the orbs on, it's like, yeah, I don't know what we're talking about here. It's just so overpowered.
Sliding is the best weapon in the game.
I think there was only one or two guys that could hit you if you were like crouched. I think a guy with like an arrow hit me somehow. I was like, how did I get hit with an arrow when I'm ducking?
He only hits you. He hits you if you're crouched. He doesn't hit you if you're in the slide animation. You're actually lower if you're sliding.
Okay. I assumed I could just crouch under it and just wait, but nope. Stuck me right in the face with it.
No, I'm pretty sure the girl, I think she has a smaller hitbox. Like, I think you can crouch and not slide and still avoid all the projectiles.
Okay, that's another little plus for her. It seemed like she might be slightly better because of that speed, but
Right.
if I would have picked her first, then I wouldn't have picked Musashi for a second playthrough.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys how long it took you before you're just sliding through every level. I kind of realized it on the first stage and was like, all right, I guess that's just what we do here. We just slide the whole way across the stage.
Yeah, that mobility was too good.
Yeah.
I knew about it. I knew that it was an option, but I still kind of preferred just actually attacking.
I did it for a couple of them. Like, maybe after a couple jumps, a guy would appear, like, in midair. I'd sit there for a second and slash him and then start sliding again. I think I slid through, like, 90% of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't catch me, I'm a slippy boy!
Okay. Damn, all right.
I'm sliding all over the place, you ain't getting a hold of me.
All right. Well, we learned today Sky is a slippery boy.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, we also didn't mention you can charge up your regular attack. I rarely ever used it, but it is an option. You can just charge up your regular slash and it'll shoot like a projectile out.
I didn't do that at all.
I didn't even know that.
No, I didn't either. I never even tried.
I didn't think Kyle would know that one.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to.
I for sure didn't know that.
He don't care about charging stuff.
I know whenever you start a new game, right before the first level, it kind of gives you a very quick tutorial of how to play. I don't remember it saying that unless I just kind of like
It
skipped
did not
past
say
it.
that.
Yeah, it
I was
didn't.
gonna say I don't recall that.
It wasn't very
I did
useful.
not say that at all.
I realized I could do it on one of the bosses, but I think it might have been the guy where his hitbox is like his head, so I don't think you can jump with that charge attack, so it has to be on the ground.
Yeah.
So it was useless. Like I charged up on the ground and tried to jump, and my guy just stuck there until I let the charge go. So I was like, oh, well, that's kind of useless.
So the weapon we really didn't talk about yet, it's kind of it's a weapon, but it also has more uses. Are his grappling chain. So as I said, you can't attack with it. It'll kind of give you like a mid-range melee attack, but it can only go straight forward. You can't really aim it. But then you also have segments throughout the game. I'm kind of thankful that these segments were pretty rare. They didn't pop up too often, but you'd have segments where you would have to use your grappling chain to attach on like maybe a log or a tree or something and swing around to your next area. As I said, thankfully they're pretty rare that you come across those, but there were definitely a few times where I think it might have been on stage 4. There was a few sections you have to do it, but you kind of have to do it just right, or you'll overshoot the next one or undershoot it and die. That got me once or twice. But yeah, kind of, I didn't love that part, but I guess it was at least a little unique.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It's just like certain sections you can kind of get across the stage quicker. They weren't required, but there's like, if you're up higher on the, because the stages are kind of broken up. It's not just a straight across. There's elevation. So if you go up higher, you can kind of take a different path. And you're always going to get to the same location at the end, but a kind of a different route to get there. And some of the areas up higher had like those logs, like you were saying, and you could just kind of swing across and skip certain sections of the stages that way.
I wish it had more of a role in the game. Like it felt like there could have been some more cool platforming sections. Like the game's a platformer, but you don't really have to do much platforming at all.
It wasn't the hardest platforming. I believe there was only one time I can really recall in the game where it was like moving platforms, which are much more annoying. Certainly not my favorite thing, but even that part wasn't all that hard.
Yeah, because you get like the grappling hook, and then you also had a wall jump. You could just climb walls. So it felt like they didn't really do much with either of those. You probably could have had some pretty cool puzzles and that kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, when I first did the wall jump, I was like, how do you do this? I was trying to like go back and forth, but you literally just keep pressing jump and you can go up any wall.
Yeah, it's like they gave you these kind of cool like tools to use, but then we're like, you could use them or not.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
optional.
know what I mean? It was just like, whatever, here they are.
There's maybe 2 or 3 spots in the game where you absolutely need the grappling chain. Besides for that, it's kind of optional. Kind of have fun with it. Now, Brad, you kind of said it. These maps in this game, they're quite large. I mean, it's not just a straightforward walk ahead, get to the end kind of thing. You really get the option to kind of explore. There's a lot of split paths. If you want to go up, you can go up. If you want to go down, you can go down, and it'll take you pretty far out of the way. Did you guys really take your time exploring, maybe trying to get some of the bonus stuff and whatnot, or did you just want to get to the end of the stage as fast as you could like I did?
A little bit of both. Depends on my run. My better run, I'm trying to get there as quick as I can. And then there were kind of practice runs, just exploring and seeing all the different pathways. And there's nothing too special. Like there's some items, but it's nothing unique. It's pretty much stuff you'll find anyways along the way.
Yeah, I didn't go too far off the path. I mainly just slid mostly in a straight line. I think I branched off like 1 or 2 spots. Like, oh, I think I saw a chest or something. I was like, I'll go grab that chest real quick.
Yeah, I stayed on the path, dude. I wasn't much of a Boy Scout, so I didn't feel like venturing off and getting lost.
There's plenty of times too where if you're really high up on the stage, you kind of have to just jump off a ledge and trust you're gonna land somewhere safe. And typically it's fine. It works out fine. But I definitely specifically remember one time where I did that, fell for what felt like an eternity, and just fell right off the side of the stage and died. Just had no way of knowing where I was gonna land. I just had to trust it, and it didn't work.
Took that leap of faith.
I took that leap of faith, and 9 times out of 10 it's fine. Then there's that one time where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the stage is over here.
It's a random trust fall.
So yeah, man, normally we would talk about the stages, but did any of these stages really stand out to you guys? They kind of all blended together for me. Nothing really stood out stage-wise for me, besides from maybe the rare grappling hook or platforming section here and there.
Honestly, dude, I was too busy just like speed sliding around to even look at the stage.
I get it, dude.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of do a decent job just like kind of introducing the mechanics. So like the first stage, you really don't have to use that swinging thing, like the grappling hook, but there are plenty of spots where you can mess around with it. And then like later, some of the other stages, they start to introduce some of the stage hazards. There's like those giant stone walls that crush you, and then I think stage 3, I think they started like having more death bits, so it kind of seems like it ramps up a little bit. I don't think anything ever gets too crazy, but it's not really like super overwhelming. It kind of ease you into it, I feel like.
I think mainly the one that stood out was, I think it might have just been the last one. You just do like that little climb. That's about it.
Just straight up.
Yeah, just a straight climb up was it a castle or something?
Yeah, there's like a Japanese castle. It's final stage, stage 5. It's really short. You're basically just jumping and climbing that building until you get to the final boss fight. They kept it easy on that last one.
Especially if you have a shield, you just pop it and keep on jumping and nothing can
There you
hit you.
go.
I think you got to use like 2 of them and you can make it to the top without even attacking.
I will say, speaking of jumping and climbing, stage 5, like we mentioned there, it wasn't a problem there. That one was pretty easy to know where you're going. But I feel like there's a lot of times in this game where you have to jump and climb things, but it doesn't really give you a good idea of where you're supposed to jump and grab. So there were a few times in this game where I was kind of just jumping and jumping and jumping, and whatever I grabbed onto is what I grabbed onto, because it doesn't really mark them very well. It's kind of just, here's a bunch of rubble, go climb it.
Yeah, and this dude can jump. Like if you jump, if there's like a ledge above you, like at the top of the screen that you can barely see, he will grab it. Like you just hit jump once and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
flying to the top of the screen. And it's kind of cool. You can like shimmy across the ledges and pull yourself up. So just another small little mechanic in there to mix it up.
I think the only other level caught my eye was, I think it might be level 3 where you're like underground in the caves and you're like jumping over lava pits and that kind of stuff. And there's like one of the obstacles are like big swords come out of the ceiling and they have like runes carved
Yeah.
on them or something. Like when I saw those, it reminded me of Swordman from Mega Man 8 because he has like that sword with them runes on it.
I think stage 4 was clearly the hardest stage, but like aesthetically, I thought it was actually kind of cool. It was like, I don't know, like a ruined village when you get to the second half of it. There's like a bunch of rubble and broken down buildings and stuff, and that one was kind of a mess to navigate too, with all the, how you said, it's kind of unclear where you're supposed to go. You couldn't see if it was a ledge you're supposed to hang on or if it was in the background. And there were certain sections where it's like a pretty small platform, and there's guys waiting just to snipe you off. And when you get hit in this game, you take a pretty big knockback. Like you lose control of your character and you fly back like a pretty big chunk. So if you're climbing up some of these vertical sections and you get hit like that, you get knocked like pretty far back down.
There's a few parts in stage 2 I wanted to talk about. First of all, one of the things Sky said about like the falling swords, there's a lot of stuff like that in stage 2, like maybe pillars that will drop down on you. Do you guys notice how enemies and NPCs can just casually walk right through those walls, but if you even touch one, you die?
Oh yeah, those things will. I mean, you can, at least with the girl, you can get pretty close to getting through those without them hitting you. But yeah, they'll clamp down on you and crush you while the guys just walk by like it's no problem.
Not even if it clamps you. If it's just already down on the ground and you walk into it, you take damage. But the enemies and NPCs, they will literally just walk right through the wall. Like it's not even there.
Doesn't even affect them.
Nope. The only other part about stage 2 that you guys notice, there's a random frog enemy that you only see once in the entire game. I don't even know what he does. I never got close enough to see what he does. I just keep seeing a frog there, and I throw my shuriken at him, and he's gone. Why is there just one frog in the entire game, and what does he do? What is his purpose?
I know what his job is.
Might be a little Frogger Easter egg.
He's the only enemy that stops me from sliding through the whole game. Every time I got there, he would hit me when I tried just sliding right past him.
Really?
Could never get past that damn frog without taking damage.
What a dick.
Yeah, he was there for me to ruin my run. Oh yeah, I wanted to point out on stage 4. That's the one you said, Jordan, where it's like the mandatory chain swinging. How you got to swing across.
Mhm.
There's like these pillars that shoot up out of the, I don't know if it's water or a pit. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to swing across them. There's like a section where that ends. I barely, like the pool started coming up, and I like clipped it as I was going down. So my character was like the whole way off the stage. I was still onto it. Like my guy actually was swinging like the arcing motion, and then it went to black screen. I was like, you son of a bitch, that counted as a death. I was on that thing. And then it just skipped me straight to the boss battle. I skipped the entire stage, and it just took me right into the boss. Like,
What?
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
you
can
little
skip it.
cheater.
What level was that?
Stage 4.
You can skip that whole level.
Yeah, that's like the hardest level in the game. That's like the most frustrating one, and you can just skip the whole thing right off the beginning
Wow.
too. Yeah, I didn't do it on my first run. I figured it out later on, and then I started abusing it later. But you know,
Well, there's Brad's tip for the evening.
Yep, I wasn't gonna try to explain that one to you
Man.
guys. I don't think anyone would have gave a shit anyways, but
All right. Well, yeah, I feel like there's only so much about the stages we can say, but I feel like where this game really shines is the bosses because they all first of all they look great. I think that's maybe the only thing in this game I would say that looks phenomenal are the bosses. They're all very unique. They all have way different strategies, and I would say the bosses are where almost all of the difficulty in the game comes from because the stages themselves are pretty straightforward, but the bosses are pretty tough. So I'll give you guys the floor here. There's only 5 to pick. Which ones really stood out to you?
just in general, before I go into detail on any of them, it kind of was like on JJ Squawkers. I felt like how you kind of just want to stand right next to the boss most of the time.
Sometimes, yeah.
The majority of the time for me, I stand right in front of them and just keep on blasting them. Once you know their pattern, you know when they're going to attack and what they're going to do. So you can stand right in front of them. They barely hit you, or pretty much don't hit you if you know where to stand. And then you just hop out of the way and then walk back up to them and keep on smacking them. You do have to learn their pattern or they'll get you. But once you figure it out, I think that's the best spot.
So who really stood out to you guys the most? Who did you like? Who did you hate?
I mean, I guess this is a good time to say that I hated the second boss. Because that's when I quit playing the game.
Nah, what?
Oh no, did you give up?
Yeah, dude.
No.
Oh no.
Bro.
I'll be honest, during my first playthrough, I thought that was going to be the case because I got to the first boss and I was like, this is obnoxiously hard. And then I kind of just realized it's just one of those games where you got to learn the patterns and then it gets easier, but Kyle only plays through the game once, so he doesn't really get that second chance.
Yeah, dude. I played one time, and listen. I don't know if it's the heat or my shoulder pain, but I was not in the mood to fight these bosses.
Blame the shoulder
I'm not trying to
pain.
learn this guy's. Yeah, I'm not trying to learn this guy's pattern. Like I'm just. I don't know, man. The movement, like going through the stages, I thought felt okay, but then like when I got to the bosses, for some reason it just felt clunky trying to fight them. I don't know, man. And then like I don't know if you guys changed your keys around and whatever, but for some reason like my jump button and my slide button is the same button. The only difference is if I'm holding down, he slides, and if I don't hold down, he jumps. But like sometimes it didn't always work, and sometimes like I would be pressing down and try to slide, and he would just jump. So like there's just no way I was getting through these bosses where like sometimes I'm sliding and sometimes I'm jumping. And yeah, it was just it was a mix of all those, and I was just like, I'm not doing this.
They were intentionally the same button. You just got to hold in down and press slide. But I think it's one of those things where if you're not perfectly straight down, you're kind of on an angle like to the left or the right. It doesn't register as down, so it'll make you jump. But yeah, that happened to me a few times too.
Yeah, I got
there
that.
was just no way I was fighting through these bosses when like I'm like I'm holding down, and like my idea is to slide, and then my guy jumps, and I'm dying because of that. I'm out, dude.
Yeah, I didn't think the controls were terrible, but they definitely could have been better. It did feel a little clunky, like mainly just holding down and trying to slide.
Maybe that's our fault for sliding through all the stages. How about it, Jordan? You walked
Yeah,
away and
you
jumped,
see,
huh?
I'm the one that did it the right way, man. You gotta take it easy like me.
I do think that second boss was definitely a step up in difficulty, maybe a little steeper than the first boss.
I feel like they're pretty close.
You're talking about the one that has like sends out like 5 little tops and stuff, right?
Yeah, the freaky demon lady.
Yeah, it's like a demon lady, then she breaks into the second form, just becomes a head.
Yeah. She gave me the old 1-2 a couple times.
One of these and one of those.
Like
Uh-huh.
I think her first form is super easy.
I don't.
When you get into the other form, and I don't know, there's just something about it, like where you have to like get behind them sometimes, and if, like again, like Jordan said, if you run into them, if they touch you, you take damage. So like there would be times where like I know the pattern, and I'm trying to like slide like away from them, but then my guy jumps instead, and like you know what I mean? Like that happened too many times where I was like, I'm not doing this. Like it's too hot. Like my shoulder hurts. Like these buttons are doing. I got one button that for some reason jumps and slides, and sometimes it does it whatever way it wants to do it. And I'm out.
I don't remember the second boss having a second form. I know the first boss does because it starts off as like the giant mechanical doll, and then the second form is the big creepy floating doll head, which you said about the head. And then the second boss is, I just remembered it being the weird demon lady the whole fight.
Oh wait, yeah, maybe no. So I got past that boss then.
The first one that has
I
the
must have
second
been doing
form,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, I got past that one then, so I must have got to the demon guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the first one, I think I suffered so much on the first one that like when I got to the second one and it was like the same thing, like you have to dodge like those little spinning tops and stuff, so like you kind of have to like slide left and right, and that's where I was having the issue of like I know that I need to slide and I'm trying to, but then sometimes my guy jumps and you just jump right into like one of those spinning tops.
Hey, you didn't have to slide to dodge him.
It did seem like it at first. It looked like it was a good move.
The Dodgers tops.
Yeah, well, like the slide. I mean, I guess you can if you know the timing, just walk left and right,
Yeah.
maybe jump.
Yeah.
But sliding seemed like the best option. Like the first couple times I tried to beat it.
It does, but I think at that point it seems like the best option, but you're kind of like overcomplicating it in your head when you don't really need to. You're like, oh, I got to turn around, I got to hit down, I got to slide this way, turn around, hit her again this direction. When really, like, if you just time it, you just turn around and walk real slow, like halfway across the screen, then turn back and walk right into it. It's like so dumb and simple, but it's actually easier than you think it should be.
That's just one of the things from playing. You just learn the spots, like you know where to walk.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like at first I struggled on some of these, but I played it enough that I didn't really have trouble with any of them by the end of it. So it's kind of hard to think back on my first playthrough.
Yeah, that boss is definitely. I think that's like a much steeper step up in difficulty than the first one. Cause you got the little tops, you got the random guys that summons, like spams them 4 demons on you, and then it goes across the screen and drops bombs on you while you're trying to dodge all these demons. Like they throw a lot at you on that next boss.
That's why you want those shields, because for this boss, how it summons those ones that like fly down to hit you, and on the third boss, it also summons these enemies that like these, I don't know, weird caterpillar looking things. Yeah, these spiky bugs. And if you have the shield, it'll clear them out for you too, so you don't have to worry about them as much. So the shield just helped you avoid a lot of damage.
That one reminded me of like an Alien Syndrome style boss.
Yeah,
Has like
I said
has like
the
the
same
weird
thing.
faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like covered in weird baby faces, kind of. I said the same thing. That and if there's any fans out there of the game Undertale, he kind of reminds me of Omega Flowey, who's the final boss of the Neutral Run. If you play Undertale, look this boss up from Stage 3, and I think you'll agree. He's definitely got some Omega Flowey vibes to him. Overall, though, I think he was one of the easier ones. I feel like he really telegraphs his attacks pretty noticeably ahead of time.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I think you pretty much stand beside him almost the whole fight, other than when you have to jump and like slash his caterpillar thingies.
That and like when he does the gas attack, you have to dodge it, but he lets you know well ahead of time when he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
But when he does like the spiky ball attack, yeah, you just stand there, don't move, and it goes right over top of you. But yeah, I wanted to point out him and the boss from Stage 4, who I also thought was one of the easier ones, but he looked so cool, dude. He was kind of just like he was a massive giant demon. He's so huge that he has to walk around like in the background behind the bridge that you're on. And he kind of just like goes back and forth on and off the screen. And then every now and then he'll kind of just speed on through there across you and give you a big old clothesline, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
He tries to get you with it, man. But I didn't think he was too hard. You kind of you stay as close to the edge of the screen as you can, so you're almost behind him in a way. You just jump up and slash his head. Overall, he wasn't too hard to avoid his attacks. But man, he looked so cool.
Yeah, and as you're dealing damage to him, he like starts breaking apart. Like I don't know what he's made out of, like stone or something. I don't know what it is, or it's just flesh, but it's kind of ripping off, and you can like kind of see underneath it as you break him down. So that was a really cool visual.
Yeah, a few of the bosses will do that. You can kind of see you're damaging them as you go.
Now, Brad, did that boss remind you of someone from a different video game we played back in the day?
I don't. You might have to spark my memory. I don't know. Looks familiar, but I couldn't tell you what it
Power
was.
Stone.
Oh yeah, okay.
Are you seeing some Vulgus vibes on that guy?
It's been a while since I played through that one, but yeah, I could see it.
Like I saw him come out. He had the spiky hair, all like demonic looking and stuff. I'm like, that kind of looks like Vulgus when he gets that Power Stone thing. He starts powering up.
Yeah, he does kind of look like that.
He has that crazy hair, big crazy face going on. It's kind of cool. As you attack him, you like break his face apart. Like lower his health gets, the more his face comes off.
That's kind of all I wanted to talk about for the bosses personally. I don't know if you guys had any more you wanted to talk about out there. The final boss was pretty cool looking, but he didn't stand out quite as much as the two before him, I think.
No, he was really easy too, I thought. He was one of the easier bosses. You kind of, like I said, just stand right in front of him and just beat on him.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that fancy fire dragon he sends at you. You kind of had to time your jump just right to get over him, but it wasn't too bad.
He sends the one out, like swirls around the screen in a circle, and then it kind of like homes in and tries to dart right at you. You just gotta jump over it. He has a lot of different attacks. He shoots like these. I think most of the bosses shoot these weird little like blue. I don't know. I want to call them petals. Look like little flower petals almost, with like energy beams coming down at you. He does that. He rains fire down from the screen. He has that flame dragon that spins around. His other like blue dragons that kind of cover most of the screen. I think that was probably the hardest attack of his to dodge, because I just run the whole way to the end of the screen and kind of jump over it if he does that. But other than that, most of his stuff was fairly easy to get around.
Yeah, not the hardest final boss we've had.
I don't know if maybe I got super lucky or something. Like the RNG of his attacks. I don't think I saw that fire dragon at all.
You had to have. I can't imagine he wouldn't have done it.
You don't have to.
I don't think. No, I had the orbs and I killed him pretty damn fast.
Yeah, the way I noticed a lot of the patterns of the bosses, if you stay right next to them, they will change up their pattern and like teleport across the screen. But like while he's shooting down those, like it's raining fire, if you stand by him and keep attacking him, then right before his attack ends, you kind of run away from him. It'll make him proc that same attack again, then you can run back into him. Whereas if you stay right next to him, he'll teleport across the screen and then start using different attacks. So if you kind of abuse the AI, you can get around most of their attacks.
Yeah, that's how I fought him, but I wasn't even like conscious of that. I was just trying to kill him. So I think he used that fireball, like the rains fireballs from the sky, and then I think that blue flame that he throws across the ground.
Right.
And well, he shoots like little purple things at you every so often. I didn't see I did not get the dragon, and he didn't shoot like those flaming head things at me either.
Oh man, you missed the cool dragon, dude. The flaming head attack. The flaming head attack, I think, was the hardest one to avoid by far.
Yeah, like I'm watching it now. I'm like, oh, that could have been really difficult.
Yeah.
And I guess I lucked out. I somehow tricked his AI up just trying to kill him with those orbs, and he died pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this game overall, I feel like it was pretty fun. I always kind of have a good time with those games where you have to learn a pattern to be able to beat it, even if it is kind of frustrating at first. I feel like overall it's fun. I will say, like, aesthetically, I feel like it totally kind of looks, sounds, and plays like it was made by like some dude in a free game maker software, like right down to all the bad script writing and typos. I think this might just be the game Sky's been making on RPG Maker, and he just surprises with it.
Snuck it in as his pick too.
And like the music that plays during like the talking segments right before the boss fights was so painfully generic. Like those scenes they felt so cheap and cheesy.
Dude, I absolutely love the music. I don't know about those sections, but just in like the tracks on the stages, I thought the music was great in this game.
I'm just thinking about that one screen where they're talking right before the boss fight. It's just like the most generic like.
Oh yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
it.
It's almost like a weird like funky Japanese kind of thing. Like mixture.
Yes, it's very simple. It's like two instruments at most.
It had like a little weird little funky groove like beat going, but it was like Japanese style kind of music. This is an interesting combination.
Yeah, it was weird.
I liked it though, man. I dig it.
Yeah, I had like the intro, like the main, I guess before you actually start the game, like the main theme. It like starts off kind of slow. It plays like the song, and then like halfway through it speeds up. It does the same thing, but like twice as fast. Dude, I had that stuck in my head when I was at work. I looked it up and I was just jamming to it, man. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I gotta listen to this song, man. I loved it.
It's like a 40-second loop. He's on there for like 6 hours. I think we've all done it. You find a cool little like 1-minute song, you can't stop thinking about it, man. So you just play it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, besides for that, as far as some of the more generic looking parts, I will say the basic ninjas in this game, which a lot of the enemies are kind of just reskins, but the basic ninjas in this game are so generic. They literally will just walk back and forth on the screen and essentially do nothing else. My favorite part, though, is when they just mindlessly walk right off the stage for no reason.
Yeah, I think more of them kill themselves than I actually killed.
There could be like a pit of lava in front of you, and they'll keep spawning and just walking right into it.
We also didn't mention throughout the stage that there's like tied up prisoners around there. You just attack them to free them, and they'll drop you different items, weapons, food to refill your health. And on stage 4, this is the only time I ever seen it. It was in like this weird, I don't even know how I got there. I was trying to explore the stage. It seemed like it wasn't an optimal path. Like you shouldn't really ever go down there. It's like way in the bottom somewhere. But it gave me it was like a little pouch item, and it gave me a 1-up. It's the only time I've seen that.
Is that before you have to like climb straight back up again up that mountain?
On stage 4?
Yeah, is that like down to the right?
Yeah, down in the bottom right.
Yeah, see, I thought that's where I was supposed to go. Like I went down there, got the one up, and I was like, oh, is it? I thought I had to jump off to like the next area, and I jumped off and just died. Like, oh, okay, I guess I don't go there. Like, where am I supposed to go here? Then when I respawned, I saw a little arrow pointing up. I was like, all right.
And I had to just see because I saw this game offers 2 players, so I wanted to see what it was like as 2 players. But it's you don't play at the same time; it's alternating, so you don't progress together. Like one person will play, then when they die,
Oh.
like say I play and I get to stage 3 or something, and then Jordan's player 2, he starts over, he's back in the very beginning of stage 1, and he gets to play. So it's kind of weird the way
What?
that works. Yeah.
That's
Like
kind
a
of
race to see who can finish the game first.
Yeah, so if someone 1 credits it, player 2 just has to sit there and just watch him play the game. You don't even get to play.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
I like the end credits there after you beat the final boss.
I kind of skipped right through it. You're gonna have to tell me.
Let me see. I think it's on this video here.
Kyle, what do you think about the end credits?
Oh, I mean, they're just really well done, you know? Just I mean, the way that they used like English.
They did okay at that sometimes.
Kinda.
I think my favorite part, I think, is the last line of it. Like the first couple ones just say, Musashi defeated Kojiro once again, reunited with that girl. After that, he got in a battle and pursued the mastery of swordsmanship. And at the very end, it says, it is said that at the side of Musashi, there was always a lady standing near.
Just a lady, not one in specific.
No, just some lady, I guess, is always near.
What a player.
I was like, man, so pretty much the end of the game, they just tell you Musashi's big pimpin'.
What a player.
I think they also had a typo.
There's
It
a
wasn't
lot.
supposed to say swordsmanship. It was slidesmanship.
Oh, Kyle, there it is.
It is sliding across the battlefield.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Yeah, there's your one for the episode, man.
See Musashi at the top of the mountain in like a toboggan, just barreling down.
It does have an alternate ending if you beat it as the girl. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I mean, it's just a different little slideshow there with different ending story.
Does she always have a man standing near?
I don't think so. It's like a weird joke ending. I forget what it says. It says like, I don't know. I forget the way they implied. It almost looks like she's gonna be like take up the legacy and be the next one, the next heir to whatever's going on. And then I forget how it ends. I should have to find it, but it plays a joke on her basically, and she doesn't get anything. It seems like.
Damn.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
kind
have
of
to
a
find it. I
letdown.
can't remember exactly how it ended.
Well, thanks for saving your sister. Well, bye.
Yeah, basically. That's how I felt when I beat it.
Well, I'm kind of running out of things to say about this game here, boys. You got anything else before we move along?
I don't think. Other than I did see when I was looking around at the game, just not too long ago, 2022, they released a sequel to this game. So all that time, they waited and they released a sequel. I wanted to check it out to see what it was like, but it seemed like it sucked. It was worse than this original one by a lot.
Bummer.
It's a big letdown, because I actually kind of enjoyed this game. So yeah, don't think the sequel is worth checking out if you like this.
Fair enough.
Oh, I seen the sequel. It's called Cross Slides.
No, you only get one. You only get one.
My boy Miyamoto
That's a
Muslady.
bonus. That was a bonus, dude.
Oh, man, you didn't see the final battle between Miyamoto Muslady and Slidey Kojiro?
Oh, okay, here's the line real quick. It says, blah, blah, blah. After that, due to her sister's, where's it at? Her family lost its first successor in Suzumi, is that how you say it? Whatever. Suzumi succeeded her, ... as a normal girl. That's the ending. That's how it ends.
She just gave up the throne, the family name.
Bummer.
I don't want to be a princess. Giving up your dream, Suzume? No, Dad, I'm giving up your dream.
Oh man.
They hit us with one of those endings, man.
Oh my god. It's like a freaking old after school sitcom.
No, it's your dream.
Not sitcom, more like a drama.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
No, man, I think we nailed this one.
All right. Well, before we move into numbers here, Brad kind of mentioned this last episode. Now we're announcing a game ahead of time on Discord. So anyone who wants to hop in our Discord, talk to us, chat with us, you'll get to see what's coming ahead before we even announce it. So we're gonna hop into the Discord discussion, and we had a few people talk about Ganryu here before we before we actually announce to everyone else we were going to play it. So going to start it off here with Pac-Man, who is, that's our buddy Don from the Cable Club podcast. He says, Ganryu looks lit, a bit of a shinobi-like. I'll put some quarters in this. Our buddy B Tribbles, as always, he's always in there, always good to talk to him. Not aware of this one at all. I thought I knew all of the Neo Geo games. Anyway, looking forward to hearing about it. To which Main Fan says 1999 might be why, kind of on the back end of the spectrum of those Neo Geo games there. A little bit of a newer one, I guess. And that's pretty much all we got for Ganryu in Discord. As I said, if you guys want to hop in, join Discord if you're not there yet. Hop on in there, talk to us about some games. We'll read it on the show, see what you got to say about it. But with that being said, Brad, I'm going to send it over to you for the numbers.
Alrighty, we'll kick it off with our credits. See how many credits it took each of us to finish this game. I think we're going to start with Kyle this week. Kyle, how many credits did it take you to beat this one?
I only used, believe it or not, I only used 2.
That was it.
Crazy,
You're done.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Oh
Pretty
my God,
easy
Sky.
game.
Pretty high
Come
bar.
on, you got to keep that fresh.
Yeah, Kyle really liked that ending of the game where that boss kills you. Really unexpected
Yeah.
ending.
What a twist. Main character dies. All right, Sky, what about you? How many credits did it take you?
I actually tracked credits this week.
Let's go.
Good job.
How about that? I'm doing better. I'm a reformed credit tracker now, so been taking notes.
Proud of you.
But it took me 4 to beat this game.
Solid. Jordan, how about you?
So this was one of my biggest improvements from first run to second run. As I said, this is one of those ones. First of all, I really think 90% of the difficulty of this game lies in the boss fights. And once you get the pattern down, significantly easier. It's just one of those ones you got to learn the pattern and know what they're going to do. So from the first run to the second run, big improvement because I spent 16 on the first run, but I got it the whole way down to 5 on the second.
Wow, man. That's
Nice.
crazy.
Solid.
Absolutely. Felt way easier. It went quick, too. That second run was maybe half hour at most. It was over in a breeze.
Yeah, I played this a lot, man. I ended up really liking it. Originally, I wasn't sure about it until I got the hang of it. But my first run, I tracked most of mine. Well, at first, I went from 12 down to 4, then 3, 2, and 1 CC. No deaths. I made it the whole way through.
Oh, God. You need something better to do with your life, Brad.
No, you just need to get better at these games, Jordan. That's the problem.
I'm not willing to put that much
Man.
time in it.
5 runs? That's not much.
Is that our first 1cc?
No, I had a few other ones. I did Mega Man, we did Trick Trap, and Squawkers.
Okay,
He said,
okay.
Nah, I do them all the time.
Technically, I had the prop cycle 1cc run.
He got that alternate ending. In the end, Brad was big pimpin'.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I was gonna bring this up at one point, Brad. We cannot overlook it. Speaking of JJ Squawkers, you got to say what happened.
What do you mean?
The snap you sent me.
That's right, I forgot
You
about
got to
that.
mention it.
Yeah, I actually a while back when we were talking about it, I think it was Mike from the old Switcheroo said you should submit your score for like the speedrun on JJ Squawkers, my 1cc no death on that game. So I submitted it on speedrun.com and they approved it. They got me in there as number one on the
Really?
boards and JJ Squawkers.
World
What?
record.
That's
Brad
right.
Wiggin.
Dude, that's awesome.
Dang, dude. And he did it as a normal boy.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to go on there and watch it now, man.
You know what's coming next? I recorded my 1cc of this game. I'm gonna submit that one. See how we do. I got it down to 10 minutes and I think like 9 seconds. I beat it in.
My God, dude.
Yep, dude. I was sliding on
I
through.
think that might be the record.
There's no stopping me.
It's the record because there's only 2 other submissions on the website.
Yeah, that's honestly probably about right.
That's fine, dude. Who cares? Count it.
Even still, that's awesome to see that. Go in there and see like you're the top guy in that game. That's neat.
Right?
Yeah.
That is cool. That is cool. I had to make sure you brought it up at some point.
Even if someone beats me, that's cool to know someone else is out there playing JJ Squawkers and doing speedruns. So
Ugh.
it's a win-win.
Like right now, you're the guy to beat.
I'm the one.
Like, that's awesome,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Sweet.
All right, we'll move into our personal ratings then for this. We're going with 23 because that's how many years it was between number 1 and the sequel of this game. 23 years. So I was a little skeptical on this initially. A few months back, I actually booted it up. I debated picking it for like my game pick, but I ended up going with something else. And then eventually we come around to our next batch of picks. Sky picks it. And I start playing through. I thought it was going to be pretty difficult. You know, how whenever you die, it takes you back to the last checkpoint. You don't pick up right where you were at. So I was like, oh man, I don't know about this. This is going to be a hard game. But then I learned the patterns, Obviously, I really liked it, kept on playing it. That grappling hook is pretty fun to use, although it's not usually all that mandatory. I think it's kind of fun just swinging around and a little bit of platforming, but nothing too crazy. I obviously like this enough to play it countless times and one credit it, so I don't know. I really liked it. And as far as one credit games go, out of all the ones I've done so far, only 3 others, but I think this was probably the easiest one. Once you figure out the patterns, it's not that hard of a game, and you're sliding on through, so the stages are a non-issue. You just gotta pick up on the boss patterns a bit. But anyways, my score is a 20 out of 23.
Whew.
Far from a perfect game, I recognize that, but it didn't stop me from enjoying it, and that's usually what my personal ratings are on.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm pretty high on this one too. I'm gonna give it a 19.
Nice.
The levels they're cool, but I mean maybe it's just my fault because I slid through them and didn't really pay attention to them that much. But the boss fights are actually really fun, like learn all the patterns and all that kind of stuff. The controls were they were okay. But like Kyle said, that's a real problem if you're trying to slide and you either just jump in the air, or sometimes I wouldn't even slide, I would just like duck and sit there and get hit by stuff. So the controls are kind of wonky, but it was still a pretty fun game, and it was super short, so it wasn't dragging out forever. But yeah, I'll give it a 19.
So I'm not low on it, but I'm not quite as high. Like I said, I have a little bit of a hard time getting past the fact that it looks like an RPG Maker game. It almost gives me the same vibes that Vamp gave me. It just looks like a game some dude made in his bed. No, not gameplay wise. It's significantly better and more fun than Vamp. But like aesthetically, especially the scenes where they're talking to each other, aesthetically it gives me the same vibes of like this was made by like one dude on like Game Maker 2001 or some like crap like that, like in his basement. Like it is fun. It is pretty simple. I mean, as you can tell, a few of us just slid the whole way through the maps, and it was just a boss fight simulator at that point. Then, I don't know. I feel like it didn't always feel great. It kind of felt just good enough to be like enjoyable as a time killer. I think if this was a longer game, I would have really not liked it. I would have gotten really sick of it and bored of it. But I think the length of it was pretty solid, especially, like I said, that second round was maybe like 25, 30 minutes once I had the patterns down and whatnot. I don't know. I guess it's kind of more up my alley as far as like the side-scrolling hack and slasher, but then, of course, it loses like a smidge for being platformy, because that's not my thing. But even the platforming wasn't the worst. A little lower than you guys, as I said, but not like I'm not killing it. I still think it was a pretty good, fun game. Maybe more of like a middling one for me. I'd probably give it about a 15 out of 23.
Still not bad. Kyle, you can give us your honest opinion. You only played 2 stages. What'd you actually think of this one?
I mean, if I'm being fair, I was kind of landing on a 15 as well. Like I'm just because like, I mean, there are good things about it. Like I don't know if like what was like through my playthrough, like this week has just not been my week. Like I was just not in the mood to be like, you know what I mean, trying to learn a pattern of a boss and like the buttons doing things where I wasn't intending them to do. But I can recognize that like I can kind of put myself aside from it. Like I have watched, like the long play and stuff of it, and like so the bosses do look cool. Whatever, the fights are decent. I think the platforming is, they did it pretty well. There's a lot of like verticality, even though some of the maps, like especially like the fourth one, was like you almost couldn't like tell the difference between like what was the foreground and the background, and like what you were jumping on and what you could grab. Like everything, it was kind of strange. It was like almost like everything could be like jumped on or grabbed, or like even if it didn't look like it could.
It blends
kind of weird. But you did have a lot of options as far as like moving around. Like we said, you have like the grappling hook, which is like a cool mechanic. We didn't need it that much. They could have used it more, but it was there, so whatever, it's kind of cool. The fact that it wasn't like a straight line platformer gets points, because you could kind of backtrack or take a different path and try to find a different power up or a 1-up or whatever. So you can kind of explore a little bit. And honestly, one of the biggest bonuses in this game for me is at the very beginning, where it tells you the button layout. Like that I think is so underrated in these games, where like I guess like a lot of the times you guys have pointed out that like probably on the cabinet itself it would tell you the controls, and so there wasn't a need to have it in the game. But I think that was massive for me. Even though it could have been a little better, I don't want to be picky, but the fact that like like the charge attack wasn't there, so like there still like were like one or two options of things that you could do that it didn't tell you in that for some reason. But whatever, they covered the basics of it, so that's a plus. I don't know. I guess the getting hit was like, I would say it was fair. I don't think it was like aggressive, and I don't think it was like you didn't have like a ton of leeway, but you had a fair bit. Like you could get a hit a couple of times before you ended up having to like credit. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't stand to get through the second boss, but I'm gonna leave it at a 15. I do think this, like, maybe at a different day would deserve like another playthrough. Not from me, but from somebody else. Somebody else should play it again. But yeah, I'll give it a 15.
Brad has got to get the world record.
Yeah, gotta stay sharp on it. Can't have anyone pass me.
Yeah, that little screen in the beginning that you just said about, that was the only reason I knew that I had to use that grappling hook in that one level. Otherwise, I would have been completely lost of where to go.
Yeah, most of these games, they don't do that, but I know none of you guys are going to sit around long enough for it to happen. But if you watch like the attract mode, like before you put a coin in, a lot of the games will explain like buttons and stuff there as well. But this one kind of forced you to look at it because it did it after you selected your character when you're actually about to play the game. So it kind of led you right into it, so you couldn't miss it.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. Like if you didn't watch that little track thing or watch the little screen after selecting your character, like you would have thought, like you would have found out you had a grappling hook, but you can't aim it upwards. It only goes to the side. So you'd have been like, how do I shoot this thing up and climb up here? Like, so yeah, if I didn't watch that, I definitely would have been stuck there for a while and probably jumped off the edge a couple times.
Yeah, it probably felt like they had to force it there. That way you actually knew how to play the game.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move into our overall ranking. Among all of the games we've played for the podcast, this will be game 47. Where are we going to slot this one in? I know I'm probably higher than all of you guys just because how much I played it. It's one of those things, the more you play, I feel like the more you're going to like it. I'll let one of you guys give us a starting point, and then we'll work from there.
I was thinking somewhere in the 20s, maybe mid 20s to start off.
I'm having a hard time. I'm having a really hard time. Like, it feels very middling to me, as I said, like middle of the rankings. But man, there's just games are just all over the place in that area where it's like I like this one, but I really hate this one, but I really like this one.
That like section of games is like the dark shadowy place in the Lion King. You're not supposed to go there.
Yeah, go there.
That's where Mufasa tells you don't look at the mid 20s. Don't look at that list.
Definitely prefer Wizard Fire. Definitely like this more than Zybots. That connection's so low. Cross Swords is so high. Like it's just a jumbled mess. This felt pretty similar to Shadow Force to me, but I think I might have liked that a little bit more. It's been a while since I played it though. Yeah, like mid-20s ish kind of feels right. It's just a matter of what it goes right above or right below that's tripping me up.
I wouldn't hate between 22 and 23, Trick Trap and Zybots. Somewhere in there kind of feels okay to me.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That feels okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad about that.
We all just instantly agree on that? We just nail that one down then? Right under Trick Trap?
Wow.
Like, as I'm looking at it, like, yeah.
Kinda, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of with
Not
it.
really anywhere else for it to go, I feel like.
That's looking like the perfect spot, man. I think he was made for that spot.
All right, I'm putting it up there before someone changes their mind.
Our ranking section was like 20 seconds. That's crazy.
Right?
Well, I mean, like, gold medalist is right below it. Like, that's a weird one because I'd rather play gold medalist if I'm with you guys, but I would never want to play that just by myself over this. I'd rather play Ganryu by myself for sure. It's kind of a goofy one. Well, I mean, it's two spots.
I'm in the same
two spots
boat.
below, not one, but you know what I mean.
Well, I guess that's that.
That's that. Let's just lock her in then. Let's call them. We got 22 is Trick Trap, 23 is Ganryu, 24 is Zybots. That was the quickest and most painless ranking we've probably ever had.
Yeah, I feel like we've had like one or two that kind of just fell in. Like
I don't know, dude. I think the easiest one is Metal Slug for sure.
Back to episode 1. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We went right through that. Jordan, I guess we're ready for some trivia then.
All right, let's do some trivia then. Sky, you are still in the lead, my friend, with 80 points. Brad is he's creeping up a little bit there. He's at 75, so he can kind of close the gap here a bit. And then Kyle's there too with 64. So anyway, question number 1. How much time has passed between Musashi originally defeating his rival Kojiro in the beginning of this game's story? A, 1 week. B, 1 month, C, 1 year. I don't know if you guys really paid attention to the story, but the enemy Kojiro, he's actually kind of like reincarnated. He was already killed by us once before. So how much time has passed between that and the beginning of this game?
1 year feels like the obvious answer. 1 year. 1 week feels like a
Yeah.
joke answer, but it's actually the right answer, and that's why it's on there. But I'm gonna go with 1 month, right in the middle.
Yeah, I was caught between the year and the month. The year seems like it would be like the right amount of time, but that might
Too
be
obvious.
too obvious.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I got to go with a month also.
I mean, okay, I hear you guys, but I have to go with 1 year. Only because if you beat someone, first of all, if you beat someone, they show up a week later, like, you're just beating them again. That's not enough time.
Did you
dude.
even beat him at that point?
Like,
It's back
yeah,
next
like,
week,
dude, yeah, after a week, it's like, yeah, like, you're just getting beat again, dude. A month, it's like, I mean, maybe he could have, done some push-ups or something, but I don't think he's going to get too much stronger after a month.
Oh my God.
Come back and
Well,
chat and challenge
he
you.
was dead and he got resurrected.
Yeah, but it's just like, you got to be dead longer, man. Like, you can't come back after a month and think it's going to be different. So I got to go with a year.
Kyle used a lot of logic there, and it turns out the other two had their correct logic. It was 1 month.
Doesn't
See,
feel
you
right.
just gotta
It's
do.
not long enough.
You just need like 10 more push-ups. That's it.
Every time Kyle
There's no
tries to
way.
get really deep into these answers, he gets it wrong.
That's the funnest part about the trivia to me.
No, I agree. I think it's the best part for sure. Meanwhile, Kyle and Brad and Sky are just like, one's too short, one's too long. We'll go with the one in the middle.
Like his make the most sense. Like that probably should be the actual answer, and it's not. Like
Yeah.
It should be 1 year.
I love it. It's actually more fun when I do that and I'm wrong.
I fully agree. I fully agree. Anyway, yeah, Brad and Sky are getting one correct. Question number 2. An officially licensed port of Ganryu was released in 2017 for what long-retired game console? A, the Sega Dreamcast. B, the Atari Jaguar. C, the Super Nintendo.
I'm gonna say my boy the Dreamcast.
Yeah, this feels like a Dreamcast kind of game for sure. Go with Dreamcast.
All right, Kyle, give us the spiel
Okay,
as well.
so now I think, so now when you're looking at, honestly, I don't know, dude, just Dreamcast, get me out.
It is Dreamcast, Sega Dreamcast. Who would have thought a Sega Dreamcast game in 2017? But here we go, Ganryu, coming out for it. Anyway, y'all get that one right. Question number 3. This one's a fun one. I'll give the story afterwards from what I saw here. Question 3. Ganryu is loosely based on an actual battle of Japanese swordsman Miyamoto Musashi and Sasaki Kojiro on Ganryujima Island in what year? A, 1592, B, 1612, C, 1631. That was a lot of Japanese names and I stumbled.
What was the first one?
1592 is A.
I think I'm gonna go with A.
Okay.
I'm going with C.
Alrighty.
I'm going with C.
Alright. Correct answer is B, 1612.
Oof.
No clean sweeps for anybody this week. Brad and Sky both get 2, Kyle get 1. So anyway, this is what I saw. This is the story about this. So apparently Kojiro was known for using a special type of long Japanese greatsword, and during his trip to the island, Musashi carved an even longer wooden practice sword out of an oar and pretty much just cracked the dude in the skull with it and killed him.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool story if you read about it. I researched that a long time ago. I loved it.
So you know about it already. You just didn't know the year for sure.
I didn't know the year, but I know like his whole story. Like he would show up to fights late just to make people mad and get them like off their game, and then he would just like whoop their ass. Like
He just took an oar and carved a sword and cracked dude in the face and just won. That's crazy.
I don't even know if it was the fight even lasted that long. I think he killed him relatively quick. Like he bashed his head and just left him lay there to die, pretty much.
Brutal.
And
What an
also
animal.
Kojiro, I believe, inspired Sephiroth. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think that's where they got the inspiration for him was from Kojiro because he has a
Sephiroth?
gigantic long sword.
That's sick. I love
this game's
Sephiroth,
deep.
man. I have to look. I'm gonna look into that now. That's interesting. I didn't know about the Sephiroth thing.
Yeah, dude, it's such a cool story. Like that dude was also like I think he's also like a painter and he wrote books and stuff. I think you can probably find like the books that dude wrote from back in the day.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, check those guys out. It's a pretty interesting story.
Cool. Well, anyway, that's Brad unfortunately is not getting any closer to Sky. As I said, you both got 2 correct. Sky goes to 82, Brad to 77, Kyle gets 1 to go to 65, which will wrap up trivia.
Legend has it that wherever I am, there's always 2 correct answers by my side.
I don't know, dude. Last episode you got 0 correct, so.
Well, I mean, hey, I said it was a legend. It wasn't a fact.
Oh, okay, that's fair. You're right.
More of a myth, maybe.
Anyway, before we wrap things up here, do you guys have any last words about Ganryu?
I don't believe so. I think I've said all the words that I already said.
Yeah, dude, I don't think I have any last words. I barely had any first
You
words.
barely even played the game, so just sliding your way through the first 2 stages and called it a day. Alrighty, anyway, the next time on Arcadiology, we have Tang Tang. You can follow us on all social media at Arcadiology. You can email us those questions at arcadiologyquestions@gmail.com or use the link in the podcast bio. As I said earlier, join the free Discord. I mean, we just kind of started doing that thing lately where we're announcing a game ahead of time. So if you guys want to talk about it, get on the show a little bit there with your words, we can go ahead and do that for you. And leave us 5-star reviews. And we actually have a new one here. And Brad, part of me is convinced this one is just from your son. Because it is a 5-star review from Amsbrita. I don't even know how to say it. Amsbrita Y. And it says, "Get that guy from the Pow World episode back on ASAP, bro." So, that one might just be from Eli.
If not, whoever that is, speak up. We gotta know.
Yeah, if it's not from Eli, then Eli's got a fan out there. But shout out to them for the 5-star review. Either way,
We'll
appreciate it. That's about all I got, boys. So if we're all done here, go ahead and tell the people goodbye.
See ya.
Later, dudes.
Goodbye, people.
Insert that closing line here. Goodbye.